right now. It's in Reseda. You were looking at live pictures of a pursuit of a very potentially dangerous human being here. The person behind the wheel of this car, by the virtue of what he's doing, very dangerous, and what he may have done, also very dangerous. Good evening. I'm Mark Brown.
I'm Michelle Tuzzi. This is Eyewitness News at 11, and we are following this breaking story. LAPD in pursuit of an attempted murder suspect. Police believe the man behind the wheel is Marcos Tulio Flores. He's wanted for shooting a woman who is believed to be his sister-in-law. The shooting happened yesterday in Van Nuys, and the woman is in critical condition, and they caught up with this suspect this evening. This pursuit taking place now for at least 15 minutes or so, and it looks now like it has gone onto a freeway.
He's on the freeway. We're going to try to get the location of this freeway. They were looking for a suspect in a four-door Acura TL, a 2004 silver Acura sedan. This appears to be that vehicle. The license plate 7ELH285. He's on the southbound 405 freeway now. As you can see, he's really flying, coming out of Reseda, heading southbound on the 405, which is going to heading him through the Sepulveda Pass. Look at the speeds here. This has got to be the triple digits, weaving in and out of traffic, although there isn't much traffic to be seen here. Now there is. But just some real danger that he's putting people in at this point, Michelle.
Yes, we've seen a lot of lane changes, high speeds, and earlier before we went on the air tonight, we saw him gesturing, just a lot of erratic moves being made right now. You can see it's just very dangerous. He's going at a very high rate of speed here on the southbound 405 freeway in the San Fernando Valley. You can see at least one unit fairly close behind. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to stay close behind him, or if they might pull off in an effort to get him to slow down.
Very strange, yeah, very strange behavior. He was hitting the triple digits a second ago, and he's now gesturing as if he's firing a weapon or something. It's very unclear what he's doing here, but some very erratic, strange behavior by this individual now, slowing down. He was going about 100, maybe over 100 miles an hour, it appeared to us, on that freeway, and now he's slowing down, hitting the brakes. I caution you that this doesn't look good, the way he's behaving and what could be coming involving the police here. This is LAPD. They are right behind him there. Officers now out of the vehicle. You could be sure they have their guns drawn. I want to get the exact location of where this is.
Southbound 405 freeway, just south of the 101 in the San Fernando Valley in the Van Nuys area.
And he's sticking his hands out. He's got, what is that? It looks like a can of, what is that? A can of some sort?
Kind of a container.
He's yelling at the police. You can be sure they're using their loudspeakers at this point to try to get him to pull over, stop the vehicle. You've got the sunroof is open, the window's open. He can definitely hear them. He's arguing with them. He's yelling things at them, and he is gesturing toward them. All of these are things that will make officers very, very nervous. As they pursue him and try to get him into custody, especially knowing or assuming what he is suspected of doing. They see one hand, they don't see the other. They see one hand's got some container in it, and he's, I guess, gripping the wheel with the other hand, but he's starting to move now. It went from 100 miles an hour to 0 to 15, 20 right now. It's very, very odd what's happening here.
Apparently, he matches the description somewhat, a man in his 30s, and driving that car that is wanted in connection with that shooting that took place yesterday in Van Nuys, in which a woman was shot and is now in critical condition. And you can see now all the LAPD cars behind him, closely behind, at least a half a dozen.
As far as we can tell, he's the only occupant of the vehicle. It's a silver what appears to be Acura TL, and slowly creeping down the freeway after what has been a very high-speed affair.
JT, something I noticed.
You know what? Maybe he's losing his power steering. I'm not sure, because it seems like he was really working hard to steer that thing, and then it kind of drifted there. This is really a puzzle. We're trying to guess what's going on and just watch him do these things. Now he's gesturing again.
There goes shot.
He just shot out the window, and they put one round through his back window. So he put a gun out the window, shot into the pavement, and then around from one of the street, one of the officers behind him put a round off through that back window. So they're getting awful close on this left-hand side for that. But, yeah, he just, like I said, real quickly put his arm out. You saw the round go off, strike the pavement right next to the car, and immediately fire was put on him from the cars behind going through his rear window.
All right, Tim Lynn, keeping an eye on that for us for sure. Again, the man that is in this car is 32-year-old Marcos Flores. He is a known gang member and wanted for attempted murder, shooting his sister-in-law in the chest, who is now listed in critical condition at a local hospital.
Yeah, incredible developments unfolding here on the Sepulveda Pass.
Occupied vehicles in the northbound lanes. Well, that's another situation. You've got a suspect with a gun running that's wanted for a possibly attempted murder, running towards other victims or other people, innocent people. That can be a use of force situation as well, and you can be assured that LAPD will probably take that opportunity to prevent something like that from happening.
Yeah, they would be within their rights at that point to use lethal force, correct? Because if the public is endangered, even if he's not firing at them.
If you've got a suspect that's known to you and has a propensity of violence and is fleeing from that crime to an area that he could possibly hurt other people, that this would be the perfect situation to actually use that type of situation. You can see that black and white coming up behind them. That is that hybrid, that dual purpose. They've got that right rear door open. So it'd be interesting to see. Very dangerous here. They're getting this close, but there are other officers in that car, more than likely Metropolitan Division officers, probably with rifles trying to get up on that vehicle. But closing that distance is very close, very dangerous situation. This could turn out, and someone could get extremely fatally injured by shots fired, and that's why they're so close.
Well, this is a very tense thing. This is a pursuit that is frankly scary for us to watch, and I'm sure scary for everybody involved. People in the oncoming traffic may have no idea about what is unfolding just a few feet away from them. But man, it is really a kind of a scary situation as we deal with this, and watching him gesturing out the window more and more just in the last 5 minutes or so. He's really been doing it a lot more, Michelle.
So agitated.
Yeah, and again, this is behavior that we've seen before in pursuits that are indicative, I should say, of our car accidents. And that, I mean, again, we don't have any confirmation of it, but what we saw in that vehicle with the flame lighting up would be a perfect indicator of why he's acting the way he is, and just getting that sense of bravery and stupidity, if you will, and just trying to prolong this as long as he possibly can, and we can only hope that no one is hurt.
Right. Well, we are hearing now that a request has been made for the CHP to close the 405 north, just north of Wilshire, trying to keep the public out of harm's way here. But right now, that is not the case. He's very close to the oncoming traffic.
He should be approaching Sunset right about now.
Yeah, I would venture to say, guys, that you're going to see Metro Armor getting here probably within the next few minutes. This has been going on, for something, at least after that shot's fired, at least 20, 30 minutes now, so you can be assured that they're en route, and when they get those vehicles in and they can block that suspect in and then they have turrets in that vehicle where they can use bulletproof turrets to pop out of the top and put some high-powered rifles on him and stop his motion by blocking him. We've seen that happen.
Oh, my goodness.
No, he's not out. Wow. Whew. That was a big shot of adrenaline for us here, and we're watching it on TV. These folks are living it down there on the ground, and you can bet a lot of hearts started pumping a whole lot faster, really quickly. And they've got to fall back on their training. They've got to think rationally and continue to think during that situation as opposed to just reacting. So it's a really tough situation and a very tense one for everybody in those black and whites and unmarked vehicles that are pursuing this person.
You have a supervisor in this pursuit who is the incident commander on scene of this pursuit, and they're always doing what's called the balance test. And on this type of a pursuit, you can pretty much, the balance test is heavily in the favor of the need to apprehend the suspect against weighing the needs of the safety of the public. That's always being weighed during pursuits. We talk about it all the time. In this situation, it is heavily favored in protecting the citizens and getting him into custody no matter what it takes.
Well, Well, they're going to do that, I guess, and we'll have to. Hopefully, it won't take any more violence. Hopefully, we've seen so many of these, haven't we, Michelle? Where
look at the car
they're behaving erratically, they're driving crazy, they're running into things, and then all of a sudden they just stop and give up.
Yeah.
And we can always hope that happens here.
It's really scary that he keeps creeping along in the carpool lane. He's just so close to the motorists on the other side, on the northbound side. He is on the southbound side. This is on the 405 freeway. And CHP is apparently going to try to stop traffic to keep more motorists out of harm's way. Coming to a stop again.
Try to keep the suspect contained, just keep their distance, and let him come down, and then everything will usually de-escalate. So that'll be interesting to see if that happens in this situation.
Now he's got both of his arms out the window, perhaps in an effort, well, not necessarily, I was going to say, to show them he doesn't have a gun.
He's not
but then
doing
the one arm went back inside, so the left arm went back inside. And
how does he get?
Can they even hear what he's saying?
Yeah,
I
how's
mean,
he
with the
moving forward when
helicopter
he's
noise and
fully facing rear to the rear? It's really
more than
strange.
likely, Michelle, they can't hear him.
Yeah.
With all that freeway traffic noise
think
and
so.
at least 4 or 5 helicopters overhead, it's very reasonable to believe that they cannot hear what he's saying.
But here, okay, this could be very dangerous. If he gets out and tries to make a run for it, this could end badly. We're watching now. The door's open. The sunroof is open. You can bet that this entire time, or much of this entire time, somebody's been on a loudspeaker telling him to give up. They're probably tired of saying it, but he's
doing something with the sunroof.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is just
But is
crazy.
he standing
Another
up to the
danger, too,
sunroof?
guys, that we've seen happen in these things is the suspect decides to get out and make a run for it, make it over that center median, and then get struck by a car going at the highway speeds there on that northbound side. So that could be something.
What's he got in his hand? He just, whatever he dropped, he had something in his hand. He dropped it. It's now underneath or in front of the rear wheel. Is he going to try to get it back? Is he trying to retrieve?
What? Wow.
So in order to retrieve it, it looks like he's got to get out.
Or get out.
I'm wondering if
He
that's
got
What
it.
is that?
Yeah, that's strange. This is just,
Wow.
you wonder what that was.
It looks silver in color. It's very hard to tell, but that could be. He reaches, and officers identify that as the weapon, and he reaches down and gets that. That could be a shoot scenario.
Yeah, this is very scary. What's going on right now?
So many scenarios that it could be, or it should be, or it couldn't be, and that's what these officers deal with on a daily basis.
Oh. Okay, we're seeing a maneuver now by that Suburban with the sharpshooter, and now the speed has picked up dramatically.
Well, we can tell the car's not to say, oh, there he goes.
Not drive. Wow.
Oh, boy. It's
now he is facing them. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. And they're going to ram him again. They're going to ram him again. Here they go.
Delayed, so
Here they go.
lost control of the vehicle.
Wow, this is insane. Okay, so this is a very dramatic development
Southbound
here.
405.
Two police Suburbans with sharpshooters trying to bring this to a stop using the pursuit intervention technique. And it continues, and it continues. You can see they're pulling up again now. You can see that armed officer, as JT described it, in a turret, sticking out from the roof of that Suburban with a gun trained on that suspect, pulling up very closely now, and again doing a pit.
Never seen a pit with a Metro vehicle before. That is crazy. All right, here we go. Let's see if they can bring him in peacefully. Now you want to avoid a crossfire situation here. He's got both hands. Look, it appears he's got both hands sticking out of that driver's side window.
Well, he knows
This is a situation you'll see they'll back that SUV in.
Both hands.
And now you've got, like you mentioned, Mark, crossfire situation. They've got him surrounded. And now he's giving it up.
Wow. Officers did a great job of surrounding him. There goes the canine. Wow, the dog is taking him down.
Not taking any chances, deploying that canine to make sure he's got no access to get a weapon out of his waistband. They don't want to take any chances with this. They will deploy that dog. Go get them.
Well, a dramatic ending to this
That's
police
it.
pursuit on the 405 freeway, the northbound side, and I don't know how else to describe it. It's extremely dramatic.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never
amazing.
seen anything like this.
And it ended with no one getting shot. And it ended with the suspect's will have been injured by that canine dog. Make no mistake, the dog is trained to bite and hold, and the human response to that is to try to get away from that. And so I'm sure he's got some pretty deep lacerations wherever the dog bit him. In fact, it looks like it got him on his left arm from what I can see. But he is alive. The pursuing officers have managed to get him into custody. It looks like he's still struggling somewhat. So they're going to take him in. You see all these Metro officers. Mm-hmm. These are the ones with those the helmets on, the tactical gear. They have got him, and they have got this person in custody. Although it looks like they might have to shackle his feet as well. He is still struggling with them, even now. Now they've got him on his there he is. He's up on his feet. Look at his left arm. His left arm is bleeding. He is handcuffed. He appears to be in some pain based on his body language, but he is going to be going to jail. This did not end in a shooting, and so he is now in custody. It's hard to tell if this is in fact the individual they've been looking for, but they certainly treated this as though this was the guy they've been looking for, wanted for attempted murder, and who may have who fired his weapon at least twice during the course of this pursuit.
Yeah, Mark and Michelle, I want to mention that this is a first. During these pursuits, I have yet to see any vehicle with an officer in the hatch conduct a pit maneuver. So this is a first, a very interesting situation. But these are definitely tactics and policies that are not that are discouraged for officer safety. But in certain situations like this, when exigent circumstances exist, they have the ability to really wander from that for the overall safety of officers and the public. And you saw that. That had been quite the ride for both those officers up in the hatches of those Suburbans and getting a front row view of that pit from up high. And at least 3 or 4 hits that we saw that they endured. But just amazing driving skills by the officers. Patience and a plan came together, and this all ended safely without any officers or citizens getting hurt.
Well, they did a great job, and they're real heroes for putting themselves in danger like that to bring this to an end and to keep the public safe from this very dangerous individual who shot twice out of his vehicle, who could have killed someone by driving erratically and at extremely high speeds on surface streets in the valley and then on the freeways. He put so many people's lives in danger. And officers then put their lives in extreme danger to bring this to an end. And it has thankfully come to an end on the 405 freeway with what we believe no innocent people being injured. The suspect has been injured. He will likely be taken to a hospital for treatment and then booked for, at the very least, attempted murder tonight and perhaps for attempted murder on a woman who was shot yesterday in Van Nuys.
Yeah, it's at least assault with a deadly weapon, firing that gunshot. It looked like he was aiming at the pavement, but we don't know, and police may have more information than we certainly have at this point. But you were looking here at the 405 freeway, southbound. The nightmare portion of this for anyone driving on the 405 is far from over, as you can see. You can bet we've been looking at how they've been stopping traffic on the northbound lanes. Now it's on the west side of LA, appears to be close to Sunset. But the southbound lanes, this has been going on at slow speed for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so people have been stuck in that traffic for a long, long time. We're talking miles behind the front end of this thing. And so the traffic nightmare from this is going to persist. But the good news is that nobody was badly injured. The suspect is in custody. No further shots were fired. No vehicles were damaged other than his. And that this thing is coming to an end. You see the LAPD now out in force there and vehicles coming in to take this person into custody. Right. And we will have more coverage of this tomorrow morning on Eyewitness News at 4:30 and throughout the day on ABC7.
Yes, we will be learning much more throughout the night as the story continues to develop, and so be sure to keep it here on abc7.com for the latest information, and then again on Eyewitness News beginning at 4:30 a.m. Michelle Tuzzi here with Mark Brown. We thank you for joining us.
Good night.